Hello and welcome, Pocket Watch here, and so time for another episode of Narcissu. Let's continue. Last episode's been very short, and seems like they are shorter and shorter, or at least like I got that impression. But nevertheless, they are not less impactful than the longer ones. And so we're going to the next one today, which is going to be Nello and Alois. So this is about the story that was mentioned in the previous episode. I don't know what the story is about, so I hope to learn some more, and we'll see. Let's go. Nello and Alois. Okay. Is this going to be like actually full story without any dialogue from Himeko and Satsumi? June. A white overcast sky spread out today. This time assignment is different from usual. In front of the hospital, my head was full of anticipation about the person I haven't seen yet. In the middle of the long hallway, I saw the doctor and spoke to him. So you're really fine with it? Okay. This is Himeko. Huh, even if you say that. My wishes, the doctor showed reluctance. For me, still being a university student isn't the burden too heavy. There's probably an unspoken meaning behind it. The patient is, well, you know, right? Oh, this is like when she's been a helper. So she wanted to be assigned to the 7th floor to someone who's been on like dying bed or something. Oh. Wow. Okay. When the doctor still continued looking doubtful, I pressed harder. The source of this was my volunteering to be the helper of a new patient to the hospice. Okay. As I spoke, I handed a single sealed envelope over. Here, the domain of extraordinary acts was not decided by only the hospital itself, but wishes of the church that also had influence. Alright, I will inform the director. Okay, so we are not getting to know like the story of like these dogs, because that's the story about the dogs apparently, right? What we learned in the previous episode. But it's going to be like analogy to what happened to Himeko before. Okay. So Himeko is Alois, because Alois was told to be alive, right? So the Nelly is going to be the person that she's taking care of. Whoa, okay. Giving it the bow, I left the palace. I held a helper's application for the 7th floor assignment. That in itself wasn't particularly strange occurrence. Moreover, up until now I had served 3 hospice patients already. Considering my age, that was a rare amount of helper experience. It could be said that I was a veteran. As to why it was rare in normal hospitals, no matter how much a person volunteered, it would have been difficult for the university volunteer to be stationed at the hospice. No matter how short-handed the place called the hospice was afforded that consideration. And moreover, even compared to other places, it was more strongly a religiously oriented place than medical service oriented. Okay. Sounds not fine, actually. This is hospital, it should be medical oriented. It doesn't sound fine. Someone who, before her earliest memories, received the waters of baptism, who actively engaged in public welfare activities. These were probably all the reasons. The patient was a child. Oh. Whoa, this is heavy. Oh, wow. And also not just a child. One without guardians and Bediran. Oh my god. Essentially a child with no relatives, no parents. Oh my god, and just waiting for death. Oh shit. Of course, that didn't mean the child had no parents at birth. While cruel, leaving a Bediran's child and vanishing just like that. There were many of those kind of parents. I didn't want to accept it, but that was also the reality. And such a child with no place to go, no relatives. The first to take the child in would be Catholic hospital like ours. And that merciful stance, it was the aspect of the Catholicism itself. That was my reason for being faithful. And that's why I was not devoted. I was not a devout follower. It didn't matter if it was Baptist or Protestant. I probably wouldn't have cared. Though I had been baptized before I had memories, it was just a coincidence that I was born and raised in the house next to the church. But even if it were a coincidence, I didn't have the resolve to want a lifelong service. I was simply a follower just of that merciful spirit. Okay. Different from the usual 7th floor. Today it was the 5th floor. Okay. So it's not a child on the 7th floor. Never mind. I thought it was... I was like really thinking it was like someone on the 7th floor. Headed to greet the Nello. I still haven't seen... Oh, that's... Nello actually is the name of the person? Here? I thought like it's going to be an analogy to the story. Maybe I just don't remember. I thought like there was a name Nello in that story. Okay, maybe I messed something up. Let's just read. The word Nello was a term between us helpers and nurses. Okay, never mind then. Resident of the 7th floor. Okay, it actually is. Okay, god damn it. You got me confused here. Resident of the 7th floor, child with relatives, bringing those together most likely. It had probably been a name taken from the dog of Flanders. Yeah, it was pretty disrespectful naming, but even now I don't know the truth behind it. Ooh, okay. When I came it felt really long established. The reason was whenever it was known that the Nello was coming, the number of doctors, nurses and helpers who saw the assignment was great. That sort of situation was probably because this was a hospital following Christ's teachings, which aimed at the self-sacrificing attitude. And then among those, the helpers assigned to Nello were called, with both respect and jest, Alois. Okay. So Alois is the one that survived in the story. Yeah. This is so hard. In reality, Partashe would have been closer. Oh, okay. Okay. This is heavy. So Partashe died with Nello. Alois been left behind. So this is... Alois is fitting for the helpers, I guess, because the patient dies, they live on, remembering them. And by saying that Partashe would be closer, like metaphorically speaking, if the helper would be like attached to the person they're helping, you could say that part of them dies together with that person. You know? In a sense. That's why they were called the closest best friends, Alois. Oh no. Raising her body up the bed, the girl looked this way. Above her knees, perhaps it was just past noon, was already eaten lunch tray. Her voluminous hair left an impression.
あら、偉いわね。ちゃんと残さずに食べたのね。
本当はブロッコリー嫌いだけど、それでお姉さんは？
ああ、自己紹介がまだだったわね。今度あなたの担当になったヘルパーよ。
As I answered, I opened the certificate and showed her. A child of this age, it might have been pointless, but showing the person now was a sad thing here.
じゃあこれからよろしくね。
こちらこそ。
She responded with those words, but she looked this way with a puzzled expression.
でも
Yeah.
ヘルパーって何？
That was unexpected. It had been likely that there were lots of things she didn't understand, but I didn't thought it was to this extent.
お医者さんや看護婦さんとは違うの？
それは
I wondered how should I answer this question. Someone who took care of them. Normally that probably would be fine. But from here on out, what faced that girl was the 7th floor. And I was her helper. The Alois for Nello. Oh my god. I can't handle this. Normally, unless one were notified, one couldn't be admitted into the 7th floor, meaning they've been informed that they had already run out of treatments. To be direct about it, the pronouncement that they would die. After they received that explanation and the hospital received their agreement, they were finally allowed in. That's exactly why in many general hospitals, hospices were not offered to children. However, Nello's were different. This place was different. Moreover, if both parents had been Catholics, even more so.
どうしたの？姉さん。
Oh my god, she doesn't know she's going to die. Oh my god. While thinking about the question what was a helper, I had fallen silent.
そうね。ああ、友達みたいなもんよ。
お姉さんが私の？
だから何でも遠慮なく言ってね。
Quickly I began cleaning up the tray that the girl had already finished eating.
ごめんなさい。
いいのいいの。友達なんだから遠慮しないで。
I continued speaking to the girl, who was still acting reserved.
それにね、嬉しいのよ私。
どうして？
実はね、以前から年の離れた友達が欲しかったのよ。
That's one thing she wanted to do. Oh my god, that was still the dream of Himeko even later on. Did she like look at Satsumi and thought of this child in her past?
私もお姉さんが欲しか
Wow.
った。
じゃあ決まりね。
As I spoke, I held out my hand.
これからもよろしくね。
こちらこそ。
She's also so calm and silent, just like Satsumi as well. The burning sunlight and the sound of cicadas. The hand I touched for the first time was warm. Summer day, we should soon transfer to the 7th floor. And so we became friends. So she's still on the 5th floor, right? Yeah, so I think like, yeah, so she's like still on the 5th floor, but soon she's going to be on the 7th. I think. Okay. Nello and Alois became friends. A few days later, as usual, I headed to the girl. As the early cicadas began to call in earnest, today again looked like it would be a hot day again.
おはよ
おはよう。
Same as yesterday, she lightly raised her body in the bed and exchanged greetings. Just a little bit. She seems to be lowering her guard, but just somewhere but still, somewhere the girl was
も
reserved.
う朝の検温は終わった？
6度5分だった。
そうだったら安心ね。
As I answered, I cleaned up the breakfast tray. With that, until the afternoon, I ran out of things that I had to do. From the start, there wasn't much of helpers to do. Medical matters were the work of the doctors and nurses. At the most, it was on the level of taking temperatures and giving support in their daily lives. However, another way to say it would be that there was no upper limit to supporting their daily lives. It was exactly for that reason it wasn't the doctors or nurses but a assigned helper who was given name Alois.
じゃあさ、食堂にでも行こうか。
Oh my god, she's doing exactly the same things that she's doing with Satsumi right now. Satsumi totally reminded her of this kid. She totally reminded her of this. Wow.
さっき
Are you going for the ice cream? For the vanilla ice?
アイスよ。
Oh my god.
これだけ暑いんだからさ。
Are you going to do like flower bed as well?
でも
She made a complicated face and looked down. She must be thinking of something beside politeness.
大丈夫だって。お姉さんおごってあげるから。
And so, as if I were giving her a backy push, we headed to the cafeteria. Since it was still morning, there was a scattering of people. Within that, we sat next to each other at the table.
さあ、何でも好きなの言って。
でも
だから遠慮いらないって。
As I spoke, I turned to the cafeteria menu.
じゃあバニラで。
はい、バニラ了解。私は何にしようかなって。アイスって1種類しかないのね。
Yep.
うんそうみたい。
これじゃあ、
Leaving the girl seated, I handed to the counter. Looking around, children of similar age as the girl were eating together with their mother or father. Of course, a child of that age, I think alone in the hospital cafeteria would be more strange. But the girl's parents were already gone. Of course, the girl didn't know, wasn't allowed to know.
はーい、
Yeah.
お待たせ。
I wonder, like, what is child like this thinking? Is she like thinking like, when my parents will visit me or something? If she's not allowed to say, are not allowed her to let know that her parents are not around anymore? Are they obligated to just lie to her and tell like, yeah, they will visit you eventually? Something like that? Until she figured out it by herself? This is so fucked up.
アイスがいっぱい。
ええ、思ったよりサイズ小さかったから一つじゃ寂しいと思っ
Oh
て
my
ね。
god, this is exactly the same thing she's doing with Satsumi. She's treating, oh my god, she's behaving like a helper for Satsumi at this point. When I think about this, even though she's a patient now, she kinda treats Satsumi as someone that she helps. Not the same. She's doing the same things. She's still a helper. You know? Instead, deep inside. She also did buy like double the ice cream basically. 2 ice creams for each other because it was too little.
というわけで、ノルマは一人2つだからね。あれ？
Wow.
もしかしてアイス嫌いだった？
そうじゃないけど、もしお母さんに見つかったら怒られるかも。
Oof. Oof. Why would she be angry though?
いつもはアイスはダメって
Oh my god.
してたから。
Saying that, she looked down sadly.
大丈夫よ。 お姉さんと一緒だったら。
It's so heavy. Such a heavy episode.
本当に？
え、先生や看護婦さんも怒らないか。
分かった。
And this time she happily extended her hands towards the spoon. It was probably a given, but since coming here she likely had not eaten any. However, someone of this a child's age, there was no way they could hate ice cream or chocolate. While pondering that, I watched the girl eating, and after a few spoonfuls, once again, her hand stopped.
どうかした？
そういえばお母さん
Oh,
最近は全然お見舞いにも来てくれない。
yeah. Oh my god. All difficult questions from the child.
以前は毎日のように来てくれてたのに。
Oh, this is so heavy. Yeah, the truth would be so devastating for her.
そう。
Beyond that, I couldn't say anymore. There's no need for the child to know. At least in my case, it seems like I would be able to tell her. Your parents are long gone. You're all alone from here on. We'll go... All alone from here on, you will go on the 7th floor. There's no way I could say that. And sadly I learned that it was the very common thing. Leaving behind only patient, the family disappearing. There were probably various reasons, financially, psychologically. I thought it was a very heartless and a cruel act, but I couldn't rise to unilaterally blame the parents. Leaving behind the child on the sickbed and disappearing, no parent would do so willingly. Beyond the cliched words of being worn out from giving care, their agonies and burdens must have been great. I just felt that this word was sad. Once again, I learned that it was another part of reality.
どうかしたのお姉さん。
ううん、なんでもないわよ。それよりも、ほら、よかったら私の分もあげよっか。
でも
いいからいいから、遠慮しないで。
Moving the girls already finished dishes aside, I replaced them with my own dishes of ice cream.
おいしい？
このアイスおいしいね。
Saying that, she showed me a smile. The usually reserved girl smiled for the first time for me. For a hospital cafeteria cheap vanilla. The first time, she looked at me with a happy face. A few days later, the burning sunlight and the sound of cicadas, they also headed to the girl's place. The other day, she'd been transferred to the 7th floor. But nothing in particular seems to have changed. So the greatest worry was not the question about her parents. I had no confidence in how to answer that. Yeah. Morning.
今日も暑いわね。
I exchanged greeting with the nurse friend. How is it? Already used to hear it?
もともと5階でも個室だったしね。
To hear that she spoke about the 7th floor and used to was, of course, not speaking about me. Could it be that you were together all night?
うん、まあ、補助ベッドで寝るのは慣れてるから。
Wow. Really, when there's no guardian around, it's difficult in many ways, wasn't it? Isn't it? At that words I gave if I ignored. And by the way, what she was hinting at with how there were no guardians around. What she hinted at was that it wasn't that they had vanished without a trace, but that they no longer were in this world. The cause of death was something the head nurse didn't tell me. I was only told that it was an accident or sickness. Oh, Jesus! Oh my god! There are many possible causes of death, but one. I would say two. And that was why no more was asked by either of us. I would say one of them was like they were being murdered, basically. So it's not counting as accident. And the other one is that they took their own lives. So I would say 2, but I think they mean the former one. Even the modern age for us Catholics, it was a great sin, forbidden act. Yeah, okay. So they meant the former one. Well, if there's anything, just say okay.
ありがとう。おはよう。どう具合は？
今日はいいみたい。
For how long is she not going to know? As always, the girl raised her upper body in bed and looked over. She probably doesn't know what it means to be on the 7th floor too, probably, I think. They never told her. At least not yet. Because they said like nothing changed. You would assume that the child would react somehow to the news, but if they would tell her. So I assume they didn't. And they sat down on the folding chair next to the bed. Then just like that, we spent most of the whole day together. From the window, the bright sunlight shone on her profile. Once in a while, we would talk about little things. That was our usual appearance.
今日も綺麗なお花ね。
Decorating the windowsill were a number of the small flower vases. In them shone bright whites and yellows.
ね、看護婦さんが飾ってくれた。
そう。よかったわね。
As I answered, I added water to the vase of yellow gear bears, while the girl happily watched my actions. From that glance, it was the scene of a common, everyday hospital room. However, the truth was different. In reality, visitors' flowers for the girl didn't exist. Oh? Since there were no relatives, there's no one to bring them. Oh, okay, that's what they mean. So it's not like visitors' flowers, it's just flowers from nurses. Oh my god, now it makes sense why she's having a flower bed now and giving flowers. And asking on which floor. This flower bed that Himeko's doing right now is for people that doesn't have any relatives. Oh wow. The present suddenly feels just like much harder. But at this hospital, especially on the 7th floor, someone always sent flowers. That was the nurses and us helpers. Everyone on the floor shared in it. And when even that wasn't enough, some were selected from the flower beds. That was also another part of the job. And she's doing this job even now. Like I said, she's still the helper deep inside. Even for the people who had absolutely no visitors, it was a situation where we made it so that there were always flowers.
ガーベラが好き？
でも白い方がもっと好き。
Okay, noted, you will get the white ones next time. As she spoke, she pointed to the other vase, the white lilies. Generally, as visiting flowers, their scent was too strong. This vase wasn't the one we prepared. Oh. But I can imagine whose scent there was, a person who would send such a gift. There weren't that many. Oh?
教会
Oh, okay.
の人が飾ってくれたの。
Okay, I see.
ええ。どうやらお越しになられたようですね。
また来るって言ってた。
The girl happily answered that she liked lilies. Most likely it was the priest or a sister who had come to visit. Considering the girl's circumstances, it wasn't surprising that the church would do something like that. Even for people who were not of the faithful, they were included without distinction into the merciful spirit. In a way, it was exactly like this place. But for this girl, she probably didn't understand that much. Even if both parents were Christians, the girl herself had not been baptized and was young and innocent.
そういえばお父さんとお母さんのことだけど
Yeah? The sudden question about the parents, I jumped. And that was the thing I was worried about the most.
遠くに旅行に行ってるんだって
They are on a very long trip.
だからしばらくお見舞いにも来れない
Oh my god. What an excuse. I mean, this is perfect excuse, I guess. We don't know, like, doctors probably know how much time she have left. And the while might actually be just enough, you know? But on the other hand, I think, like, this situation here is going to develop into something that Himeko is saying to Setsumi now. That this isn't kindness. I think this is the situation that drive Himeko to say this to Setsumi. I think this is exactly the same situation. The lying and the like feeling of disappointment and grief. I'll just read. Who said such a thing? I swallowed down the words of the immediate question. Perhaps the doctor or nurse. There's also a chance that it had been a priest or sister. But no matter who it was, it didn't seem like I would be able to contradict it. To speak of this lie. To say that we simply shouldn't lie. That it is an evil. I wasn't childish enough to believe that would be the end of this matter. I know who said it, but their feelings were probably the same as mine. If someone from a long distance were to find an excuse to condemn this act, I would want them to teach us, or directly in contact with things some other way. If this act were to be called evil, then all of us, I suppose, would be evil people. Going along with the lie probably would mean I was accomplice.
お母さん早く帰ってこないかな
You cannot hit me with this. You just cannot. Why is this happening?
いつもねプリン作ってきてくれるんだよでお姉さんも一緒に食べ
God
よう
damn it.
楽しみね
Beyond that, I couldn't find any words to reply with. It was just against the intense pressure of being able to say nothing. I couldn't help but string together whatever words I could.
そうだねえ食堂行きましょうよ
でもさっき朝ごはん食べたと
いいからまたアイスおごってあげるから
Once again, as if pushing her from behind, we headed to the usual hospital cafeteria. Wow, the ice cream is the way of like coping for the loss and oh my god. When Nello and Alois became friends, really it was closer to being partiate, but we were unable to die with them. That's why I was Nello's #1 best friend, Alois. But continuing to hold secrets, could I truly be called a friend? And also the fact that the girl herself would soon be dying. Just how long must that be concealed? Yeah. Like, if she's like going to like die soon, if you like in the mind of the child, if like you just say her like your parents are just like on the trip, she would like at the end she would have a feeling and thoughts that her parents stopped loving her. She just like been abandoned. They never came to visit until the very end, you know, without knowing anything. And if you tell her the truth like at the end that they're dead, that would be fucking devastating and terrible. This is the situation where Himeko's saying to Setsumi that they're lying is not kindness. I have a feeling like until the end they're going to lie to this child. And that's why Himeko developed that this is not the kindness thing. Because she saw how this end up ultimately in the end. Ah. A few days after, today a clear summer sky also spread white. Under that sky, today the two of us went out into the courtyard.
今日はちょっと暑いね。
じゃあそろそろ戻ろうかしら。
もう少し外がいい。
As she spoke, she turned a happy face towards me. She had really become attached to me. It probably didn't need saying, but there were no people around of similar age. The majority of the 7th floor were elderly, yep. That's why, even more so, I made to always be near her.
あれ？なんでこの場所はお花がないの？
Pure eyes spread the flower bed. Among the colorful flowers and the green grass could be seen, only that corner was the barren state.
もしかして枯れちゃったの？
まあそう言えなくもないわね。
Okay. I mean, this is the place that she planted in nowadays together with Setsumi.
そうなんだ。ちょっと。
As she spoke, she seems to be a bit desolate. But that area was for flowers that had bloomed in the spring. Having already finished blooming, they were simply gone now as they should be.
でもね、
Okay.
来月にはまた種を植えるから、きっとすぐに賑やかになるわよ。
わかった。
With those words, she once again answered with a happy face. That girl I continued with words that I suddenly recalled.
ここは荒野。だから花が咲くのよ。
Other line from the Bible, I guess.
これは
Yeah,
イザ
okay.
ヤ書の言葉ね。
And so I began to explain to the girl. How in the 35th chapter, there was the passage, the wilderness and the dry lands shall be glad, the desert shall rejoice, and the blossom, like the crocus it shall blossom.
そして盛んに花を咲かせ、喜び喜んで歌う。
ちょっとよくわからないかも。
まあ何もないからって悲しむんじゃなくて、何もないからこそ喜びも生まれる
Wow.
って意味かしら。
へえ、お姉さんってすごい。
別にそんなことないわよ。
For some reason the girl was impressed, but I denied it.
所詮私は経典や聖者の言葉を知っているだけで、別に自分自身の言葉じゃないからね。
じゃあお姉さんって物知りなんだね。
まあそういうのには詳しいかもね。
博士？
博士か。
That's from where she get the idea of like Professor Crockett. Or Setsumi later on. Setsumi really reminded her of this girl.
そこまでじゃないけど、なんかいいわね。
じゃああれは知ってる？
As she spoke, what she pointed to was the phoenix palm. Oh my god, everything is going circle to her. Growing at the hospital entrance.
私パイナップル
Oh my
な
god.
んだけど。
パイナップル？
すっごく大きいよね。
Everything goes circles to this one. Well, it's true that looked similar.
ねえ、どうして誰も食べないのかな？
she wasn't joking. I was pretty sure this child was saying it seriously. Should I correct her? Should I agree with her? For just a moment I debated.
いいところに気づいたわね、実は。あれはパイナップルの木なのよ。
And she took it nowadays and went... What the fuck?
やっぱり
でもね、
Ah.
このことは絶対に秘密にしないとダメなの。
どうして？
だってみんなにバレたら食べられちゃうでしょ。だからああやってもっともっと大きく育つまで秘密にしてるの。
なるほど。さすが博士だね。
You can circle back everything to a child. Oh my god. You can't do this to me. The girl answered as if greatly impressed.
あとね、他にこういうのも知ってるわよ。
何何？
With expectant eyes, the girl looked at me. And facing the girl, I took from my pocket my rosary and...
あなたの上に主の豊
Oh,
か
this is the thing that Chihiro said to Setsumi.
な福がありますように。
Joining my hands, closing my eyes, I offered a prayer for the girl.
終わったわよ。
今のは何？呪文みたいなの？
呪文か。ちょっと違うかな。
And Himeko said later on that where's the prayer, there's also a curse. Wonder how, like, I think like she stopped, so the time when she stopped being a helper is probably when this girl died. Probably this is the part that broke her. Certainly, if it were a saint or an archbishop, maybe it could have been called a spell or magic. But I was neither a pastor nor the clergy, just one of the faithful. So, it wasn't anything extravagant like a sacrament, it was nothing more than a simple prayer.
じゃあおまじない？
うん。そんな感じかな。
That or just a way to ease the mind. From the start I wasn't expecting it to be effective, and really the reason wasn't why prayer existed to begin with.
まあ、せっかくだから魔法でもいいわよ。
わかった。
And then she showed me her usual bright smile. We who had become friends, Nello and Alois, up until now, even thought we were supposed to be close friends. I, who could do nothing other than buy her ice cream. Such an Alois found one thing that she could do for the girl. So, if you think about this, right now, the situation that they have, like, I mean, nowadays, Setsumi and Himeko, they are not anymore like Nelly and Alois. Nello. They are more like what she said before, like they are closer to this Parashate and Nello. You know? Because they're both going to die. I mean, not yet, because Setsumi is not on the 7th floor, but in a sense, you know, like later on, Setsumi is going to be on the 7th floor, so yeah, closest friends and they're both going to die. Tachina has found one more thing that she could do for the girl. Oh, and this is it. Whoa. Okay. And now it's... Oh wow, and now it's going to be about the kindness. I wonder if this is going to be what I said, like, about lying, about parents. This is going to be the episode where we are going... Next episode is going to be episode where we are going to learn probably about what she was saying always to Setsumi, that lying to her parents may feel like it's kind from you, but it's not really a kindness. And you really wonder like what situation exactly it's been for Himeko to come to this conclusion. And I didn't expect it that in the past Himeko really had someone just like Setsumi, you know? She's like reliving her past with Setsumi, basically, if you think about this. A little bit. Not exactly, but she sees her in Setsumi. And let me know in the comments if you think that's actually the case. I understand this that way. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching, thank you for being with me. I will see you in the next episode of Narcissu. So click that like button if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you'd like to support me and see episodes earlier. Thank you once again, and for the Pocket Watch is going out.